Hello, my dear PhD students. I am Professor Dr. Kamal Bhattacharya, Faculty of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. This is a special lecture video for you because I have perceived that the scientific conduct in research I think you need to understand in little elaborately, deeply, because this is your ultimate USP in your research for coming 3 years. If you understand each and every nuances, if you understand the inherent pits of research, then this video will help you out as far as your cognitive concern, cognitive development, knowledge is concerned. Okay, so in America, America has benefited from creative, productive, scientific enterprise in which hundreds and thousands of men and women have advanced human knowledge in an environment which is free, open to inquiry and societal support and public funding. Remember that scientific conduct needs or associated closely with societal fabrics. As in all such large endeavors, human frailties inevitably appear. We fail, we struggle. Okay, it is inevitable. You cannot escape. We cannot escape the errors. Okay, some of them in the form of scientific misconduct, and these errors knowingly, unknowingly, unwittingly will come to you, and you have to deal with such things with better understanding, because you need a wise spectrum of your understanding, persuasion. Why? Because you cannot escape from the reality. You cannot escape from the reality. Improper conduct can also impede the progress of scientific itself, the reduce society's confidence in scientific structure among the researchers. So again, for your understanding, scientific conduct does not mean that you have to deal with science subjects. Scientific means orderly, proper behavior, research ethics, code of conduct, respect for others, zeal to know, hunch for knowledge, wiseness to choose between good and bad, correct, incorrect, right and wrong. So, to maintain a high standards of scientific conduct, okay, responsible lies on the researcher participants. Individual researcher, universities and other research institutions, professional organizations, government, they have their own role and you have your own role. Since 1989, National Academy Complex in America, okay, has issued two separate reports. One is educational essay that addresses the issues, and another the coming out misconducts which are responsible for marring marring the progress of your research, which is very severe. And as the technology advances, things are easy to retrieve. The easy thing makes it complex, difficult for a researcher. In 1992, there was a report, Responsible Science. See, you know that Oppenheimer, when he in front of him, under his guidance, the first plutonium bomb was exploded, and he quoted from the Gita, that I am the destroyer of the humankind. He became another Prometheus for mankind. So, questionable research practices, which include inappropriate authorship, data handling, mentorship, also require attention by the local officials, but are unlikely. When I did my PhD, so my guide, she was a very erudite personality, international erudite personality. She was also an emeritus and Shakespeare professor. I was always on a haunts of a dilemma and afraid of producing my writing, because never know that what may crop up or may creep some unscientific or some misconduct, okay, from any corner of research periphery. So, recent decisions by the UGC that has given that the researchers now, unlike previous year, they need not to publish any paper, unlike other erstwhile it was 2 papers to be published in journals. Okay. This may reduce your tension level, but remember, in this university, in Motherhood University, we follow the strictness in investigating the research, be it scientific or non-scientific papers, and we will go definitely for 2 publications, and that will be or might be your that may open your third eye. Okay, that why the need of scientific conduct, the follow scientific conducts, okay, are necessary in research. Individual researcher, for best safeguard of appropriate scientific conduct lies with the person who is doing the research. Each of us must insist the truthful reporting. Remember, which is, please note it down when you listen to this, truthful reporting of the results of experiments and your findings, and on the principles of scientific practice and authorship that give proper credit for the origin of the novel ideas and other substantive contributions to research. That I, in my previous class on Saturday, Friday and Saturday, I mentioned you that you must have the respect and proper attribution of the writers. Scientific conduct depends on only one thing, that is truthfulness, and the public has the right to expect that the valuable resources that it devotes to scientific conduct will be well used. Why it is necessary? It is necessary because your research is yours when it is within your purview, within your laboratory, within your copies. But when it is published, that research is no longer that belongs to you, it belongs to everybody. Individual researchers have fundamental responsibility to ensure that their results are reproducible. Reproducible means flexible, and it should have an open end. That their research is reported thoroughly enough to enable others to reproduce and build on experiments, and that significant errors are connected or corrected when they are recognized. Each and every individual report, individual sentences, individual words, individual thoughts, expressions should be verified, should be responsibly written expressed when you are going to publish it. So, there are other departments like the governments are there, the individual universities will be involved, other departments will be there, other institutions may be involved in your research. But you have to, if you want your research to be international standard, if you want it to be received acclamation from the international readership, then you must work, you must act as a pollster, act as a pollster. So, your data collection, your variables and non-variables data, your authorship, your attribution of authorship to others, your taking resources, information from others, words and sentences used by you, any gap that you could not fill up, international writings, your shortcomings. For example, if you are going to do research on the genuinity of Shakespearean writings, whether it is the man we see as Shakespeare, whether he was a Shakespeare or something else, somebody else, whether he looked like that one. Okay, so this if your shortcomings may be that you do not have those folios. Okay, those folios which are kept in British Museum, you cannot access it. You cannot access it. But what you can do in that case, you need to inform the reader, your guide, that you have collected these informations from this website, which have retrieved the information from the British Museum, from the British Library, from the American Library, from a book written in 1916, written in 1914, written in 1898. Your shortcomings will not be a default, not be your drawbacks, but it will give you, it will be assumed by your researcher that whatever you have collected, some of it for literature thesis, maximum we have got the information is second hand information. We read books, we read we go for different opinions by means of interview. Unlike scientific research, in scientific research we have got first hand experience, and I have a first hand experiment, first hand experience, first hand information, knowledge that I am learning now on the table. The bond, different bond of different molecules, the structure of DNA, the structure of RNA, So, all these things. But for literature, those who are going for Hindi, the Ritikal, the old Hindi literature, the, the literature written by Tulsidas, okay, these are all books are not available to you, and you cannot read also. Modern research and researchers, they have their own way of or ways of thinking. They have other works to do besides their research. A full bright scholar research in other countries may be a different issue, but in India I am talking about whatever I am discussing about India and trying to give you a comparable study or difference, not in negative sense but in positive sense, that how you can have your own mentality, make your research standard and successful. Therefore, to come to the conclusion of the gist of the magnet of this video lecture is to make you understand or make you give the sense of research, scientific research conduct is altogether a substantial practice of retrieving information, keeping it, giving proper due respect to others, accept opinions, prune opinions by your own understanding, by discussing with your guide, and come to a conclusion which is based on your merit, not guided, not influenced by anybody else. I hope there was a mist, a haze in front of your eyes regarding this scientific conduct in research. Okay. So, I hope it will little bit help you to understand the importance and the WH questions, which, what, how, when, where, all these things. Next class we will discuss in little deeper manner. Until then, have a good day and God bless you.